Yo, what's up, Carbonation? We have a never-before-seen Jock Market, I was going to say live stream, but podcast in general. We got Bales and myself here from DFSkarma.com. We've kind of been the ones in the free Discord channels for Jock Market, for MLB, for NFL, a little bit of PGA, and of course NBA coming up soon. Kind of explaining what this new DFS platform is. It kind of helping people with strategies and whatnot. So what we wanted to do for Monday Night Football, which locks in 31 minutes, well, probably 29 minutes. It locks, like, I think, was it 2 to 3 minutes before 8:15. So yeah, I think 8:13 is the last time to get in a share. But if you are tuning in for the very first time and you're like, this sounds interesting, what the heck is it? Let me do a quick synopsis. This is it's the stock market meets fantasy sports. What we're doing here on this app, I'll just go into a contest real quick here. So this is the Monday Night Football contest you can see on the screen. So what you're seeing is my actual phone right now on the screen. So we are buying shares of players that are participating and playing in Monday Night Football tonight. And let's just use just the top one, for example, Davante Adams right now. Before lock, the highest bid for Davante Adams for one share of Davante Adams is $12.50. So in theory, if we bid on him and it locked that very second, which it doesn't because you still have till 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, but if we did have one share of Davante Adams, and out of everybody else from Monday Night Football, if he scored the most fantasy points and finished number one in fantasy points scored out of the entire slate, his share gets paid out $25 a share. So in theory, if we get a guy at $12.50, and we get one share of him, just for this example, and he gets paid out at $25 a share, simple math will say that you are going to be getting not only that $12.50 back, but also another $12.50 profit because he got paid out $25 a share. So if that doesn't make sense, Bales, is there any way that you think you could explain it better? I know. So if you're questioning, Bales is actually Batman, so that's why he's in the he's hiding he's in the shadows right now. But
that's how I gotta do it at night.
Before that gist, besides that gist, what other like quick explanation do you think you want to give for Jock Market here?
I mean, now you outlined it well. It's like in its simplest form, you buy any amount of shares of any players you want, depending on how they do. You will be paid out for them. When you kind of look at it, it's a really difficult way to lose all your money because the chances that you consistently are picking like the absolute worst guys, in which that case you still get money back. But the chances that you're consistently picking the absolute worst guys, especially if you're in our free Discord where we're going over picks all the time, slim to none. Whereas you can win quite a bit of money if you pick the guys that score on the highest slate, especially when you look on like the Sunday ones where not everyone is jumping to like $10+ per share and everything. So simplest form, buy players, depending on how they do, you'll get paid back. But I mean, we can kind of just, go over it as we're talking about it and stuff, if that makes sense.
So yeah, that's kind of the main, I think I may have already said that, but just to kind of rehash on it, we're not doing this as more of this is not an instructional live stream. We're not just going over strategy stuff. We're actually showing you and talking back and forth on what we're doing as lock happens here in, the next 30 minutes or so while Bales works in his Batman utility belt. So if there is one person only you are bidding on, Bales, now, actually, now that I say that brings up another point I was gonna mention. There are two different kinds of contests right now on Jock Market, which is the name of this app. Just go to Jock Market or JOCKMKT.online. You see the banner there below, and the text at the bottom. JOCKMKT.online. Download their app. You see in that banner below, it's on Google Play stores and the app stores as well for iOS devices. Use promo code CARM to get a $50 bonus. But there are two different types of contests. You see here in the top left, on the top, very far top left, that is the cash market. This one right here, and then right next to it, you see it says free $1,000 NFL Monday contest for September 20th, which of course is tonight. Both of these lock approximately at 8:13 p.m. Typically, they're a few hours before traditional lock. But the strategy for both of those are completely different. For the free rolls, the only way you make money in a free roll is if you place, I'm not 100% sure. Let me check real quick for the showdowns. I think you have to finish. You see here, the only way you make money is if you finish in the top 50. So if you're number 1 in the free roll tonight, you get $100 added to your account. So you just download the app. If you don't deposit anything, you just play this free roll. You finish first, you get $100. But since it is a leaderboard with payouts, you have to finish in the top 50 out of 1,500 people. Finish in the top 50, you get some money added to your account. Traditional free roll style. The cash market, which is the other one.
Time out. Just so that people know. Karma's won quite a few of those free rolls as well. So
we won last. So we won the two. We won like the last 3 or 4 of the free rolls actually. But good point. This strategy works. I have taken down free rolls. We had somebody take down the big 2.5K free roll for the main slate yesterday. So this strategy works. It took us a very short period of time to realize how people are winning these free rolls, and then we adapted it and. It started taking them down ourselves. But that being said, the free roll strategy. So if you're just downloading this right now, Drake, what's going on? What's up, Jack? So if you're just downloading this right now, if you are only going to play the free roll, which is fine, we're not going to force you to play the cash market. And if you don't want to do this on your first night, you just want to get your feet wet, that's fine. If you're playing the free roll tonight, the strategy is, which is your bonus for watching the stream, go all in on one player. That has worked. Every single one of us who have taken out a free roll is because more or less 99.9% of the time we went all in on one player. So let's just open up that here real quick. We still got about 25 minutes to lock. So here's all of the players. I think they have a player pool of 24 players. Yes, 24 players across both teams here for Monday Night Football. So I'm just giving you an in theory example. So let's say MVS here. So MVS, Valdes-Scantling. We're going to go all in on him. We're going to pay for his share, which right now is listed at $1.25. I'm sure you guys are probably going to start bidding on him and make that go up here in the next 25 minutes. But if we get him at $1.25, if you see there in the very top left of my phone, it says available 250. So you get these coins for every free roll. You get everybody in the free roll gets 250 coins, and that is what you're using to bid on these players in the free roll. So you can get $250 worth, or coins, dollars, worth of any one player. Now, if you're getting $250 worth of someone who's currently $1.25, you're going to get a lot more shares of them because they're cheaper than if you're bidding on Rodgers right now, who's $4. If Rodgers, goes off and is the highest scoring player, then you're making $21 a profit. But if MVS goes off and he's the highest scoring player on the slate, you're making, just shy of, or just a little bit over $23, $23.75 to be exact. So you have more shares of MVS because he's cheaper, and you get higher profit per share because he's cheaper compared to the $25 per payout for the first place prize. If this is confusing at all, it's fair enough. It's definitely a unique thing in the fantasy aspect of what we're used to. But that's why we have you go to our Discord, chatdfs.com, go to the NFL Jock Market channel. The Discord's free. The channel's free. We're constantly dropping knowledge bombs in here as we take down the free rolls left and right. But that is the strategy for free rolls. You want to go all in. So the 250 play coins they give you, use all of that, if you can, on one player that you believe is going to go off. Or in some cases, just pick a player that's cheap, and if they go off, you get lucky, you win $100. I've done that before where I've just picked a random person and they went off and I've taken down a free roll. And then before we start getting into strategy and players we want to play with here, I'm going to go and explain that strategy that we just explained for the free roll is not the same way you make money in what we call the cash market. So the cash market, every share you're actually paying real money for. So if you look at my screen, right now, as this very second, Davante Adams is $13.06 a share. So every share I buy of Davante Adams, if it locks right now at that price, I'm paying an actual $13.06 out of my bankroll. You are not competing against anyone, in theory, to make money. If you buy one share of Davante Adams and he finishes where his price per share gets paid out higher than $13.06, then you win. This is the number one point that Bales and I are trying to get through to everyone in Carmination, our Discord, and everyone outside that hasn't joined Carmination yet by going into our free Discord, is you are not competing against anyone. You're simply trying to buy a share of someone that you believe that is going to exceed their expectations or outscore their fantasy points projections. If they do, you win. So even if you buy one share of a guy and the payout of that one share is higher than what you paid, you win. This is the easiest platform in DFS to make money on because, as Bill said at the beginning, it's extremely unlikely. It's like, first off, it's impossible for you to get one share and lose everything on that one share, because even the worst possible position gets paid out $1, or worst possible finish spot. So if you buy Davante Adams and let's say he, pulls his groin in warmups, doesn't play, and scores 0 points because he doesn't play the entire game and finishes dead last out of everyone, you still get $1 for that share. So it's impossible to lose your money, all of your money. And the chances that you're always bidding on people, like Bale said earlier, always bidding on people that are always going to finish the bottom is extremely unlikely unless you're not using any of our tools and doing your own thing and not doing any research at all and just blindly picking. I mean, there's a chance that way. But yeah, I just want to stress that before we go into strategy of what we're actually playing right now and what Bales and I are going to be betting and talking about in a second. If you're playing the free roll, go all in on one player. If you're playing the cash market, just go look at everybody and just see, okay, who do I think is gonna, who do I think is gonna be undervalued? Who's gonna exceed their expectations? Who's gonna go off? Is it Tanyan, the tight end of the Green Bay Packers? Is he gonna be the one that's gonna go off? Is it MVS? Is nobody gonna go off? Is it just gonna be a cash centered game where let's focus on the big names like Adams, Rodgers, Jones, and stuff like that? Different strategy than the free roll. The free roll, you have to finish in the top to get paid. This one, you just have to get a guy and have him do better than what everybody else thinks he's going to do, and then you win. So, all that aside, Bales, in the cash market, what is one name that you're targeting tonight? Or your favorite target?
It always gets so crazy when we get closer to lock because prices start to fly up what people are looking at. And really, that's gonna kind of change everything that you're doing. So when you look at it, I think there's two guys that are, should be projected higher than everyone else. The two are obviously Aaron Rodgers, who is the second highest right now at 1250, and the second one is Davante Adams, who is at 1306, leading the slate. So when you look at that, I don't necessarily know if I want to play, or I guess spend up on either of those. I guess if Rodgers would stay at 1250, I would take the shot there. I have no problems because I believe at that point he would need to finish top 3 for me to at least even break even. I feel very comfortable that he's going to finish top 3 on the slate.
For Showdown, actually, so the Showdown's slightly different where I just pulled up Goff, who's third right now. So Showdown's actually a payout of $10. So he has to finish top 2. Rodgers does to make because at second payout is, hold on.
No. What on the?
I had it right. Hold on, I had it sorted differently. Hold on, let me see here.
The first is 25, second's 20, and third 16. Fourth drops down to 12, which you'd be paying more than.
Yeah,
so you'd have to
I had it sorted
3.
by a different stat. Okay.
Unbelievable here, but.
Yep, that's what you gotta do sometimes. So yeah, so he's got to finish top 3 for you to make a profit.
Yeah, so as long as you have. I would pay for Aaron Rodgers up to probably $15. I think that's 100% fine. I would probably feel relatively comfortable on Davante Adams up to that too, but when just looking at the entire market, I might not pull the trigger on that, especially knowing where they're sitting right now with 15 minutes left. They're probably going to jump over that. Just a guy that I feel like is underpriced at this point would be Bob Tunyon. He's so touchdown dependent, but I do believe that Green Bay scores multiple touchdowns tonight. I think that if you want to bet Aaron Rodgers over 2.5 touchdowns, a very good bet. They're coming off of a very embarrassing loss. I know a lot of people are saying that Rodgers is just trying to force his way out through bad play. That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard very clearly. One of the best quarterbacks in NFL history is not throwing games. That would be ridiculous. But Tunyon currently sits at $4.50. He is the 9th player. I probably would put him just a little bit higher than that, especially because the price is so low. So I do think
but is he a touchdown or bust though? Do you think there's a chance he could still he could still pay off his share price at $4.55 if he stays out of the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need a touchdown because just the way that he plays, he does have some big play potential. I do think for him to hit his ceiling where you're going to actually be making a good amount of money, he does need a touchdown, yes. But he also is a red zone target. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions pull something weird where they just send like three guys at Devontae Adams. I would assume that that happens a little bit later in the game. I'm going to guess that they try to play him relatively straight up, maybe someone over at the top, and they can't stop him. And then if they want to get weird with their defense, it'll come after a couple of drives, but that'll open it up for guys like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who I'm also very high on. Um, you know what? I actually think that I might prefer Valdez-Scantling for only 50 cents more at this point. I think that MVS and Tunyon are both value plays at the moment. If they shoot up, I'll probably move off of them. I think they're just a little underpriced for where they're going to end up, though.
And if you're wondering, well, Travis, if you're have your phone pulled up and lock is in 12, 13 minutes, why aren't you actually bidding on people? It's the same concept as eBay, is that you're not constantly, even though you can bid on an auction at any given time that it's active. I mean, if you bid on it, with 12 minutes to go or 15 minutes to go, if you're short on time, that's all you can do, then that's all you can do. But you're only increasing the cost of it. You want to get these guys as cheap as possible. So that's why myself, and I believe Bales as well, and a lot of people in our Discord that are on this platform, on this app, that we're kind of just waiting for like that last 5 or 6 minutes, and then we start just eBay sniping just left and right, trying to get as many players as we can. But for anyone that's short on time, you still can participate. So if you know that you want to get 5 shares of MVS, but you're short on time and you can't watch, until lock, something's going on, then you can bid $20 a share on MVS in theory. And then if he finishes at like 575, even though you bid $20 a share, you're still going to get your 5 shares at 575. Same way as eBay. Like if you bid $1 million on something on eBay, it's whatever the next highest person sets the price at is what it sells for. So MVS and I like how you call him Bob. I don't think I've heard too many people refer to Tanyan as Bob before.
Bob Tunyon. It's just I don't know. That's
his picture in this app, he looks like a Bob with that hairstyle. So Jack said, what are your thoughts on Goff tonight? I mean, right now he's actually he just bumped up to third. He's the third highest at $10 a share. He's gonna be passing the entire game.
I don't think I take that, just because I don't really trust him. I feel like there's other guys that I would rather take for cheaper. Like he's not going to throw the ball 60 times again. That's not going to happen. Doesn't
and
really
then something
matter.
else you want to pay attention to when you play a new platform the first time is scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback interceptions are -3, which is huge for this, where when everybody's so close in fantasy scoring, and then you get one interception, you can go from like third to like 10th, just like that. So quarterbacks to me are always something iffy. I try to stay away from them just because I hate that concept of just an errant pass or a tipped pass just tanking me in the standings. But is that in mind as well when you're saying you're staying off Goff? Is that you think he may be interception heavy in this game, or is it just you don't see him passing as much as everybody else does?
I don't necessarily think I would say he's interception heavy. When you look at what happened last week, like he threw for 350 yards almost, and 3 touchdowns, I believe, on almost 60 pass attempts. This game's not going to go that way. Green Bay is going to slow it down way too much for him to get even close to that volume. It's just like I would assume that they run, or they rely a little bit heavier on the run with Swift and Williams. I just don't see Goff. I like him. I just don't see paying that much for him. If he was a bit cheaper, I'd take the shot. I have no problems with that. I do actually think that quarterbacks bring relative safety to this. So you're kind of not, I don't want to say lighting your money on fire, but you get the analogy in that situation. Whereas you take a wide receiver or something, it's a little less certain than a quarterback, especially because they're all just in the same thing. It's not like a quarterback is playing against a quarterback, and whichever one does better, it's a quarterback against other positions. So I think that there's a case to be made that Jared Goff could end up 3 behind Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams the way I see this game playing out. I just don't necessarily know if I want to take that shot, because DeAndre Swift comes with so much upside. You could have someone like TJ Hawkinson get in the end zone twice, and all of a sudden they just drop Jared Goff out of somewhere, since It's already at $10 for him. I can't imagine it ends below like 12 or 13. And then at that point, again, he would need to be a top 3 player, which I'm not entirely sold he's going to be tonight.
So I just pulled up the free roll again. Which if you guys are just tuning in, the free roll strategy is to spend your 250 play coins that you get for joining the free roll. Spend it all getting IPOs of one player, and just hope that player is the one player that goes off. So that being said, are we still looking at MVS and Bobton as the two potential all-ins on that, or is there anybody else even lower than them that you're like, all right, take a moonshot on this guy?
For the free roll, because specifically the free roll, just because they're priced so far down, it's got to be Valdez-Scantling, I think, at $2.11. Or I'm assuming he jumps up, but DeAndre Swift at 250 is pretty stupid. I would probably put him as my number 1, Valdez-Scantling as my number 2. In terms of the actual cash market, I think that at the moment, Amon-Ra St. Brown is too cheap. He should play more or less all the snaps with Tyrell Williams out. We don't know if Khalif Raymond is 100% healthy. He's active, but that doesn't mean that they're going to play him full snaps. So Amon-Ra St. Brown should play most of the snaps. He's still down around $3.50 per share. I don't know. For a receiver that I think is at least relatively talented, should get some slot looks. They said that he looked good all throughout the training camp and everything. Just 350 seems a little too cheap, especially because his numbers don't look great from last week, but Goff missed him on a relatively wide open deep touchdown. So if that happened, I would have to assume that St. Brown would be much closer to someone like Tunyon or AJ Dillon, and he's still about $1.50 below someone like Tunyon.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys that, like I said, if you haven't downloaded this yet, or you're downloading it right now because you want to get on this $1,000 giveaway for this free roll here. I'll show you real quick how to place a bid. So this is the free roll. So like I said, the free roll is you got 250. Everybody has the same amount, 250 play coins in the IPO, which is the bidding before things lock section, the initial player offering. I'm just going to tap on them. I'm going to hit bid. I have 250. So you're just like, okay, so how many can we possibly get at $2.11? Well, I don't want to just bid $2.11 because let's just say that I only have one chance to bid. So I'll probably do something like, just for this example, like 275. So I'll say 275 will be like my max bid for MVS in this scenario, even though we have about 6-7 minutes left before lock. And then I'll start. Looks like so at 275 I can get 90 shares of MVS. So if I do review order, I hit submit, because the previous highest, which you see in the top right, was $2.15, I'm automatically the number 1 bid because I bid 60 cents over. But of course I'm not going to pay 60 cents over. Right now he just bumped up to 225. So that means out of all of my shares that I bid at 275, the next highest was 225, now 231. I don't know if that's Bales right now that's trying to outbid me because I'm doing that in the free roll. I'm just seeing it go. Now it's at 250. All right, so somebody's playing along with us here in the free roll anyway. But yeah, that's essentially how it works. And then on the market side, it's your bankroll is whatever your bankroll is, whatever you deposit in there. I started with I haven't deposited yet. I'm up to 577.91. You see in their top left, and that's just winning free rolls. And then I had a great day yesterday as well in the cash market because we went our number 1 play for week 2 in the main Sunday slate was Lamar Jackson. He went off last night. He actually was negative. He was negative 2.3, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose like a good chunk of change getting 15 shares of this man. And they pulled a rabbit out of a hat and shot up to, I think he finished number 2 behind Cup. Yep. Anthony says, Rodgers is going to smash Jamal Williams, great value pick. So what do you feel? Jamal Williams, he says, will get carries, tons of check down passes, and revenge narrative. What do you feel about Jamal Williams?
I like Jamal Williams.
$5.99 in the cash market.
$5.99, so where does that put us? That puts us, he needs to finish top 8. Risky, I agree with it. The problem with Jamal Williams is that he doesn't really have the upside to finish one. So like you play someone like DeAndre Swift, he could finish one. Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Jared Goff, even someone like TJ Hawkinson, all could potentially finish as the top guy. I don't think that someone like Valdez Scantling could lead the slate. Realistically, he would probably need 2 deep touchdowns and a few more catches, and it's just highly unlikely to happen. The thing with Jamal Williams is that he can have a really good game. It's highly unlikely that he leads the slate as well, though. So when you pay $6 for it, right, you kind of need him, I guess, to break even, you need him to finish 8th, which I do think is reasonable. But to really make a very solid amount of money, you would 50% returns if he finishes top 4. I think that's reasonable. Again, I think Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams are relative locks to finish top 3 each. And then when you kind of decide who else you believe are going to be there, DeAndre Swift, I would assume, stays ahead of Jamal Williams. Probably Jared Goff, too, and Aaron Jones, which then even Jamal Williams' ceiling there probably hits about 4th or 5th. So just because people are bidding him up, that's not really someone that I'm going to be on tonight. I believe his price is actually at almost 650 now. I guess people are actually starting to bid at this point. So Jamal Williams, I'll pass on. I do like the narrative. If you saw his interview talking about Green Bay being the X that doesn't want him, it was hilarious. Love him. I actually think he's a good player. I just don't think with his role that it makes sense to pay almost $650 for him.
So I went back and I pulled up the free roll so you guys can see. So if you're going back and forth like I typically do, I go the free roll, I go all in on someone, then I go and focus on the cash market. But then when I want to check the free roll, I can go back here and you see that MVS, it still says we are winning 90 shares, which you see on the left underneath his name. Right now our live, so he just went up to 275. So right now we were the first person to bid 275, which was our max bid. So now anybody that bids over him, I'm going to start losing shares. If they, there's only a certain amount of shares every player has. So somebody starts bidding higher than 275, I start losing that 90. It starts, see, I just got bumped down to 75 now. So somebody just took 20 or 15 of my shares there. So we got lock here in about 3 minutes. So this is when our hands get sweaty and all of those shares are gone. 281, all my shares for MVS are gone. I'm going to focus on the cash market though. So we were talking about MVS right now, 605. Bobby Tan at 555. Is there anybody that is worth at least a couple shares, like 1 to 3 shares? You said St. Brown is someone you like as well because of the Tyrola Gazelle being out.
Yeah, I'll to keep it 100 with you guys. I just bought 2 shares of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Please don't bid me up and take my shares, but also go ahead.
That's going to happen.
You're willing to
it's
pay
definitely
more,
going to happen.
bid me up. No, but I just put in for 2 shares of him. I'm really looking at Alan Lazard. I don't love it, but the price is just, it's tough.
That's what I was looking at earlier because I pulled up our projections for this on our optimizer, and Lazard is like almost tied right below Bob. So like it's pretty much Jamal, MVS, Bob, and Allen, all within like a point of each other, a point or two.
Yes.
So, all right. So we got a minute left here. So let me play some bids here real quick. So let's do this here.
I bought a little bit of Lazard just because the price is so cheap. If someone outbids me at where I'm at, I'm 100% fine losing that. I'm actually going to go 16 on Aaron Rodgers. If anyone wants to outbid that, feel free. But just know that he has to finish. Now, at this point, finishing 3rd is break even for him. He has to finish top 2 for me to make money. But, I'm fine with that. I do feel really comfortable with him. I think that's probably where I'm going to sit. Valdez Scantling at 615 just seems a bit high. Tunyon at almost 6, I do like, but you're really just banking on that touchdown. TJ Hawkinson feels a little low for his upside and the way that this game could potentially be played, but again, I don't know. I feel like I would rather just spend a little bit on Aaron Rodgers and kind of get the safety of knowing that worst case scenario, likely I'll probably only lose a few bucks on him. And I have the potential of making 25 a share on him as well.
I feel like, yeah, I got like 10 seconds left here, so I'm try to crunch this real quick.
Travis isn't even trying to help you guys anymore. He's just trying.
No, I'm sharing my screen. How is that not helping?
He did this as a very specific way to get my plays. He was like, "Do you want to come on the live stream and help all of our guys? Or help me just get the plays."
Listen,
that you like.
Bales. Everyone can see everything I'm doing. I'm just not going to interrupt and say what you're doing. So right now, so what you guys saw while Bales was talking, because I have my screen pulled up in full transparency, Bales, wasn't locked yet, so I'm still staring at it and getting ready to change things here. Let's see. I got 5 on MVS, I got 5 on Bob, I got 5 on St. Brown, 5 on Lazard, and that's. You said you did what on Aaron Rodgers? How high did you go?
I went to 16 on Rodgers. I just bought 2 on Mercedes Lewis at 125 a piece because worst case scenario.
Just closed.
Okay, sorry guys. Well, and I was gonna say worst case scenario, I lose 50 cents on Mercedes Lewis because he does nothing, which we can probably expect. But
yeah, because the worst payout again is $1 per share. So yeah.
Yeah, best case scenario, he catches a touchdown. Oh, looks like I didn't get Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
went
I was
16.
saying that you said 16, and I see him at 625 right now.
I thought I was gonna snake that in. Whatever. I feel pretty comfortable not paying over 16 for him, honestly.
So what happens right now is, you just saw that red thing pop up saying that it locked, and so even though right now in my orders it's showing everything there, like somebody could have done something the last millisecond. So don't count your chickens before they hatch. Just wait. When you see them in the holdings, which is right here, the next tab over, click over to holdings. When you see them there, that means you 100% have those shares. So I mentioned, and you guys saw me do 5 on MBS, 5 on Bob, and 5 on Allen. So now it's gone away. We're going to click on holdings. We're going to refresh it. And okay, so we got all 5 of those. So we got 5, 5, 5. So that's what we have for the cash market. And as long as MVS finishes at a share payout of better than 615, I win. As long as Bob finishes a share payout higher than 588, I win. As long as Lazard finishes better than 307, I win. So that is how simple it is to win money. It doesn't matter. You're not versing anybody else. You don't need to finish first in total profit. You just need these guys to perform better than the market dictates. Now, let me go back to the... I don't think I got anything. No. Oh, no. Oh, wow. So I thought I actually was going to get outbid in the free roll before lock because I was focusing on the cash market. I actually got 100 and... What'd you get? Did you get outbid or what'd you get in the free roll?
Let me check the free roll quick.
I got 110 of Lazard. If he goes off, I win the free roll. So this is what I'm talking about strategy-wise. If you go all...
Lazard.
This is the strategy. I have won plenty of free rolls. I've cashed in all of the free rolls, but I've taken down a lot of them. If Lazard goes off and finishes where his profit at 110 shares is higher than anybody else, then I win $100, another $100 in a free roll here. I thought I was gonna get outbid, but go ahead.
I got a 49 of Jared Goff, and I don't like it, honestly.
How much do you have left available after your 49?
$27.
What price do you get them at?
Let's see, 450.
I mean, if he finishes first, you're definitely going to be in like top 10.
Yeah, I just went for a guy that does have the slate breaking opportunity. I also put this in like before we even got on stream and just set it at $5 because I knew we were going to be on here and I wasn't going to be looking at it. So at least this time I didn't forget the free roll and I actually did buy a player. So it's a step up, but you know.
So let's see. Anthony says you took my Browns. Oh, you're talking about your Browns shares. That was me that took them to 5. No, it was only 5 though. Like if you, so for me, I don't go crazy heavy. Not yet anyway. I don't go crazy heavy bankroll on the cash market. I just do 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, because Lamar Jackson was so underpriced yet last night in the main slate. And, Bales was talking about, he had him in an article, our video that we posted and went out to social media that Taylor did, talked up Lamar Jackson. and on our projection tools, he was the number 1 ranked guy, and he was so cheap. We're like the entire Jock market community wasn't paying attention to anything, and so even after the fact, after it locked, I didn't even get any lock shares. I would have made so much more money. After it locked, I bought 15 shares from people that were already holding them, saying, "Hey, I'll give you this much per share," and they said, "Yeah." So I got 15 of them, and then of course he exploded, and I made $180 on Lamar Jackson shares. But yeah, so that is the gist. If you have any questions, there is a free channel where you can pick our brains on this 24/7, 365. Go to chatdfs.com and then just look at the NFL Jock Market channel. Or if you play this and you're more interested in MLB, there's an MLB Jock Market channel. There's also a PGA Jock Market channel. We got a channel for everything they have on this app, including NBA coming out soon. So appreciate your time, Bales. I'll let you enjoy the game. I know you're a big Packers fan. I'm sure you want to see more than 4 fantasy points from Rodgers here tonight.
Yeah, I did just see like a 40-yard bomb to Quintez Cephas. So good start for Green Bay.
I thought you were going to say Lazard. I was like, yeah.
All right, but yeah, everyone, if you haven't yet, download the Jock Market app. Promo code Karma, free $50 on a $50 deposit. Just trust us. Great.
And
app.
Actually, something that we did not mention for anybody that's still on here, we did not mention the money back guarantee. So if you didn't do it for this one, that's fine. For Thursday Night Football, for the first time that you put money in and you play real money, like I'm doing right here in this cash market, so let's just say Thursday Night Football or even the Sunday main slate, they will refund $100. They will refund $100. So if you put $100 into the market, you buy $100 of shares of people, and you bomb everything, they will refund up to $100 on your first NFL cash market. So take advantage of that. It's not pretty much. It's a money back guarantee. But we'll catch you guys in the Discord for more questions, and enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. And if you do win, post the screenshots in our Discord, or if you're not in the Discord yet, get in there, and we'll see you guys next time.